So this spring we're going to get to experience the next evolution of Spore with Darkspore. Could you tell us a little bit about the concept behind Darkspore?
Sure. First of all, this is not a Spore 2. This is actually a whole new game built on top of the Spore technology. And what it is it's a action RPG game, and it's online. It has a 1 to 4 player campaign mode, as well as a 1 versus 1 and a 2 versus 2 PvP mode as well.
So, but you kept some of the parts obviously from Spore. Could you tell us a little bit about what is that the parts that people like most, or was it just a feeling that you got in the design team, what you wanted to keep and develop on?
Yeah, what we really looked at is what best suited an action RPG, and we had basically at the end of Spore, there's all this technology, and we really wanted the team wanted to make a new game, and they looked at all the elements and the technology and kept the ones that fit the RPG best, and then spent a lot of time adding new features to the technology to make it its own thing. So you look, there's definitely a new visual style. There's shadows, new renderer, new lighting system in there. So we really wanted to do that. Also, with the Spore technology, it allowed us to offer something new to the action RPG genre, which is you can make your heroes look the way you want them to look. So you're not limited to any one thing. It's up to you. And this was, I think, is a really good, strong thing. The other thing we added now is we actually added stats to the different parts you collect. So now you have this dilemma of, hey, I want to put this part on, or I want to put this part on, because it's going to matter in the way that your hero plays.
And speaking of the heroes, could you introduce some of the heroes and how they differ and what their roles are?
Sure. Yeah, we have Zarin, who is a what we call basically he's a tank, and he's a big, huge buff dude. Has a big flaming fist of fire with electricity around it, so it's double death. We have other guys like Sage, who is he's more of a mage class, but we call him a Tempest, and he's all about ranged healing. Has little pets that can come out and fight for him. And then we have another one called Blitz, who's a Ravager class. It's kind of like a rogue. He has teleporting abilities, quick combat, but like most rogues, can't take much damage. So it's about him. He's about getting into the fight and getting out as fast as can.
I think it's an interesting way that you opted how to put the team together and how the abilities sort of lend themselves to different who you're playing. Can you tell us a little bit about the system there and the philosophy behind what you wanted to do to create with that?
Yeah, what the squad building allows you to do is each hero that you collect in the game comes with what's called a squad ability. Now we're offering right now we're focusing on like 25 core heroes. Each one has its own squad ability. Now typically in an RPG, action RPG, you kind of tend to focus on a single guy. What we're allowing you to do is focus on multiple guys at once, because what you're building is a squad. Now you play one hero at a time, but as you alter the squad, you have different squad abilities given to you, which now alters your play style. So you might have one that is a stun, but you could take that one hero out and put him in, and now all of a sudden you have a heal available to you, or maybe a ensnare, or you can teleport your hero around. So now you have say you have a hero you really like to play. You can pair him up with somebody you're not too familiar with, but now you have a new squad ability. So it's like you're changing the way that hero plays.
And then another level on that, of course, is the cooperative play and the ability to have your squad with your friend's squad and another friend, and then that there's just a lot of different opportunities to tackle a level.
Correct. Yeah, and so yeah, you want to doing that, and on top of that, as you get gear, well, gear has the ability to actually alter how some of these abilities also work too. So you can increase the stun dance or stun chance, or you can make stuns last longer, or you can make heals go, have more heal ability, or if you have an AOE, you can actually increase the AOE damage. So not only do you have these squad abilities, but then you have loot on top of that. And if your friends have other loot, it's like you can basically start mixing matching. You can see just all the permutations just get bigger and bigger.
And could we just take us through a little bit? You have a ship that you return to, and that's your sort of hub for everything. Can you just describe a little bit what you do on board the ship?
Correct. Yeah, sure. What the ship is for is basically that's kind of where your collection of heroes is. It also allows you to get into the different maps of the game. It's where the hero editor is, and you can also access. It also gives you access to basically everybody else who's online, your friends. You can access all the profiles of all the creatures, plus your friends' profiles to see what they're bringing to the plate, and then it just basically the ship becomes the overall. It uses everything in the Darkspore universe.
And that's also where you access player versus player.
Yes.
Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, what we're going to for launch, we're doing 1 versus 1 and 2 versus 2 arena combat, and it allows you and a friend can go in and fight somebody else, or you can go head to head. And what's really nice though is the way that we've kind of made it as a nice closed loop is that you have to go into the campaign to get new heroes and to get new loot, which makes your deck stronger. Then you can take all that stuff, go back into PvP. Fight, and then of course you might get matched up with somebody who has a hero you've never seen before, or has some gear you've never seen before, and he can be stronger than you. You're like, okay, now I got to go back in the campaign and get more stuff. So it's a nice loop that basically each one supports both sides.
And I noticed the word there that you said for launch. Do you have plans to expand that further on?
Right now, we are just focused on just getting the game to a launch. Obviously, post-launch, we'll look at how the community is playing, what they want, and Maxis is always open to listening to the community and adding stuff like that. So I'd say right now we are just focused on getting the best game we can possibly ship.
So when I started playing this, because I've been playing it for a little bit, the first thing that I noticed was the fact that the environments are a little bit different than what you normally see in an action RPG, and I really enjoyed that. Can you tell us a little bit about what thoughts have gone into designing the environments in Darkspore?
Yeah, we made an early choice up front to make sure that this game stayed in a sci-fi universe. And we spent a lot of time looking at how do we keep that in there. And not only do the environments kind of embrace that, but he also knows that the enemies from each planet who live on there also embrace that sci-fi feel. And that's kind of been our whole mantra on the team is like, keep it sci-fi, keep it in the universe, make it feel very, very special. I guess that's what it is. And like you said, it has not been really been seen before in this type of genre.
So, another thing is that we didn't really touch on it, but the different characters they belong to different classes that sort of match up with the enemies as well. Could you tell us a little bit about the thought of that? Is that sort of to encourage the player to mix things up a little bit and try different things?
Yes, actually it is. So what we wanted to do was not only are there different character classes, so we have the 3 standard classes, we also have types. And that also helped us when we designed the abilities, is that also under each type you'll only see certain types of abilities under certain classes. So Sage has a healing ability, but he's from a bio class. And then you may not. There'll be certain classes that will never get a heal, like the plasma type will never get a heal. So that also encourages you to mix and match your thing. On top of that, to also support it, we also said that basically if you're fighting a plasma guy with a plasma guy, the enemy will do double damage towards you. Now, it doesn't mean you can't win. But it makes it tougher, and also is that choice of when you're getting the planet screen and you see all the enemies, you're like, okay, how is my squad matched up against this? And this is also why we encourage that in the game we actually have you can actually have the ability to build multiple squads. So as you're playing, you can go, oh, this squad isn't going to really do a good job. I'm going to use this other squad because none of the classes are the same. So you have a higher advantage for that level.
So you can just save and mix and match and all of that stuff. All right. So can you tell us a little bit where you're at in development right now with Darkspore?
Yeah, currently we're at the alpha stage. So the one you played today is an alpha stage, and we're just pushing on to get it to final.
So a thing for me is that this genre often hits PC and console gets ignored. Is console something you're considering anywhere down the line with Darkspore?
Right now, the team is really focused on just getting the PC game done. We really have to just make sure that we come out with our best foot forward. Now, once we've done that, we're going to definitely look to see what we're going to do next.
Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome.